What's going on, everybody? Got a new one. The Spyderco Manix 2 in s110v. I had tossed around the idea of this knife between the Maximet and the s110v, and I had originally had my mind made up on the Maximet, but it just seemed like for 180 bucks versus 126, just didn't want to really have to worry about constantly keeping the blade clean. So I went with the stainless, and couldn't be happier with this knife, man. This thing, it's less than 4 ounces. I think it's like 3.3 ounces, something like that. If anybody knows for sure, correct me if I'm wrong. Not exactly sure what the Rockwell hardness on it is. I think the Maximet is like 67. A lot of people said that Maximet's brittle. I really don't know. I haven't. I've cut a handful of zip ties with this one. I've made probably 70 to 80 cuts on cardboard. Haven't stropped the edge. Haven't hit it with ceramic. Haven't done anything. Like I said, I've even cut zip ties with it. It still snags a little bit, but that's still factory edge. I imagine if I stropped it a little bit, I could probably get a full cut on the paper. See if I can get a good one. Oh, yeah. Paper's all kind of wrinkly and shit, but for as many cuts as I've made on cardboard, that ain't too fucking shabby. I won't fucking complain about that at all. This is my only other, I guess, super steel knife, other than, you know, the coveted Bark River Cub. And I've absolutely used the shit out of this knife. Anything from, you know, doing small, you know, just carving. Use it a lot in the kitchen, actually. Same thing with this one. I've only stropped it, and I've only used my ceramic on it a few times. And it's not, you know, it's not hair shaving sharp by any means at this point, but just kind of use that one as a comparison for the sharpness on this. From everything that I've read and everything that I've watched, this particular steel, this and Maximet actually, they seem to fare better with a toothy edge versus a polished edge. This is the edge that's on this it's still really aggressive, really toothy, and I mean, you see it just makes those tiny little cuts. You know, not bad at all. They're not super jagged. Yeah, this is definitely a badass knife, man. A lot of people say that it's, you know, if you're a knife fidgeter, it's not very fidgetable, if that's even a fucking word. But I find myself flipping it and playing with it, you know, all day at work. You know, it's just a matter of time before someone says anything, because you're technically not supposed to have any sort of pocket knife unless you're a material handler at my job. But I don't give a fuck. There's nothing that they can say or do that's going to make me stop carrying a knife. They shit and fell in it if they think that'll ever happen. And I will respectfully let them know exactly how I feel about that. But I've had this one for actually a week this past Saturday. And like I said, I've done a lot of cutting with it in the short amount of time that I've had it. And yeah, I absolutely love this thing. It's just, and I'm used to bigger, you know, I mean, that's a pretty decent sized knife, and for as much as it weighs, it barely even notice that it's in your pocket. The only gripe that I have about it is the traction on there. I don't even know what the design's called. I think it's something like Volcano or some shit. I don't know. When the knife's in your pocket and you go to reach into your pocket, since this traction, it kind of comes out from the center, from the design. When you reach your hand down in your pocket, this side over here kind of grabs your hand. But that's literally the only thing that I dislike about the style of traction that they put on it. That choil up there, just, man, it's definitely recommend that one. Absolutely recommend that one.